Hello.
Hello. How are we this morning, this fine morning?
Well, it's a very beautiful morning. I'll tell you immediately though. Um, my brother died this morning.
Oh, are we doing it today then?
Yep, we can do it. But
No, if you're not in the right mental space for it, I'm cool with that.
no, I'm fine. I just think I wouldn't mind a shift of topic because actually, um, uh, if there's a time to practice what we preach, because happiness is not easy, but life does throw these sort of things at us. Um, and this is something that I've told you about before. I knew it was coming at some point.
Right, okay.
And I don't want to be miserable because this is what happens in life, isn't it?
It is what happens. Okay, so happiness ain't easy. We're rebranding the podcast. Uh, okay, happiness ain't easy. Happiness is shit. Happiness is unobtainable for the majority of people most of the time. That's what we're. So we're going for the rebrand. We're going straight in. Tell me what you want, and we'll deliver.
Yep. So um, I
Are we,
thought,
are we doing the introductions? Are we going like, do you want my bombastic, hey, or do you want like, hey?
no, you can do the bombastic.
Okay, as you know, this podcast stars the legendary Nicola Morgan, positive psychologist, and Dominic Nelson Ashley, just a vibes merchant. Right, that's with qualifications to prove it. Yeah, this podcast is called Happiness is Easy, and we know it isn't. But hey, what this podcast is all about is not only nurturing, but giving you the tools to survive and thrive in life. So, when it comes to those moments when the topics that we talk about aren't just a theory, but it's reality and it's parked at our front door and there's no escaping it, we have to tackle it head on. And that's what we're going to do today. Today, we're not messing about, nothing theoretical. We're talking about stuff that has been active, pertinent to us, and prominent in our minds right now. So, we're going to take a little bit of time and I'm going to hand over to the legendary Nicola Morgan to say what she wants to say before we dive deep into it. Take a deep breath. When you're ready, Nicola, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I am continuing with the podcast this morning, even though something very bad has happened in my life. And the reason that I'm continuing with the podcast is because these things do happen. Um, it's this morning I've experienced the death of my brother, who is my little brother, and he's been ill for quite some time. But this was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, and now it has. And so part of the challenge of life is, um, I was going to say rolling with the punches, um, because uh, everybody experiences grief and loss, don't they?
Absolutely. It is one of the inevitabilities of life. You're born, you die, there's taxes, and in between, we all just do the best we can. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, okay, you never know what people are going through. We all have the ability, we learn it to put on that facade. It's like, okay, how are you? That colloquial British expression is, how are you? I'm fine. You move
I,
on. How's the weather? Oh, it's raining today. Oh, like, oh, yeah, but the weather forecast said da 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 da. Yeah, and everybody does the polite thing, and then they carry on with your day. And when you go like, how are you? And they go, actually, people go, excuse me, what? That's not what is supposed to happen. And they make their excuses, and they move on.
yeah, yeah. I listened this morning actually to a talk by Oprah Winfrey. Now I find Oprah Winfrey a bit cheesy, but
Uh-huh.
I also have respect for her because she's been so enormously successful, and I'm sure she helps a lot of people.
Mm,
And she was saying that people don't want to hear about your problems.
mm.
And I thought that's quite a controversial approach because we're all encouraged to talk things through with people, aren't we?
Yeah.
And she was saying, actually, what you should do is stay silent and deal with your own struggles. I suppose she's saying pay a professional or something, but she was saying, don't tell everyone because they are wrapped up in their own lives.
Mm.
What do you think to that?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because if you, it's a giant leap of faith actually opening up and talking to people in the first place about what's really going on in your life. That is super hard, right? So if you're already, I mean, we're already told you do you keep yourself to yourself, you do your own thing. And a lot of problems occur that way. People bottle things up. Young men, don't express yourself, keep it all in. And it comes out, the stress and the trauma built up will express itself in some form sooner or later. So it'll either be someone's playing football and that gruesome tackle goes in, and that gruesome tackle is not about trying to get the ball off the other person, it's because of their frustration in their own life. Or the trauma and the stress will manifest itself in some shape or form. Overeating, binge drinking, or, doing something,
Or being
making
violent?
or a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so on the one hand, Oprah going like, it's true. Most people don't want to hear about your stuff. However, there's two sides to this. They might not want to hear about your stuff, but you need to let it out. So it might be a case of you're telling somebody something, they're not actively listening. They're just going, but you've actually offloaded it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that you actually getting a benefit. So you on the benefit side for you, it's +10. On the downside for them, it's a -2. So overall, it's okay. Right?
Yeah. I also think she was missing the point in that um, people have connections, don't they?
Yeah.
You talk to people. I don't mind when people tell me what's going on with them. I'm very interested. And it's not out of nosiness or a power battle. This is
Yeah.
what she was suggesting is that people might be trying to, use it for one-upmanship. And I thought, wow, that's a very, very cynical view.
But that's America though, isn't it? That is it's
Yeah.
there's some cultures where it is dog eat dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that comes to like be careful who you offload onto.
I think that was her message,
Yeah.
actually. I think
You
that's
know,
probably what she was focusing on
like,
because we are living in a very cynical culture there, aren't they?
yeah, so a co-worker, like, oh, how are you today? Well, no, having this problem. Like, next thing you know, it's like they've told the boss, and it's like you haven't got the promotion you were thinking you were gonna get. And the person you've spoken to has used that information against you. I mean, I had a very similar conversation with my daughter. She's just started work. When I was saying like, oh, okay, right, she is completely unused to office politics. She's used to like being scary and people doing exactly what she says.
Otherwise, she'll cut their head off and put it in the bin.
Exactly. So, uh, and so I said to her like, okay, so she's got a very sensitive nose, right? So she doesn't like bananas. They set her off. They can set off a migraine or whatever. So I said, you could be, a scenario at work where, you're talking to somebody, they don't like you, and next thing you know, they're having a banana for lunch, and it's ruined your whole day. I said, you've got to be watch out for this stuff, right? Okay, be careful, be sharp. Not everybody's going to be on your wavelength. You're joining a big law firm, right? Okay. I spoke to her after she'd been at work for a month. I said, how's it going? She said they've changed the whole dining policy for it. No one's allowed to eat at their desk anymore. I said, my advice is completely useless. I can try to protect you from like how the vagaries of the world are not necessarily going to bend to you every single time. They bend to her every single time. I said, Father, I'm redundant. I'm re- I
that,
said, I
that that is our job, to make ourselves redundant.
like, okay. So I said, how much you getting paid? She's like, I say, okay, you horse riding works for you, prevents you from, you got a lot on, So trying to help her budget and stuff like that. Next thing you know, I paid for our horse riding for a whole 6 months. That happened. That was not my intention. I was going in hard. Hard. You got to learn to live by your own means. You don't live under my roof anymore. I got to. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, I said, I want to lose a battle here. It's a
Yeah,
good,
she sounds
it's a
like
good,
someone you don't want to try negotiating with.
it's a good, it's a good thing she's. I did say that's a good thing she's on my team, but she's not. She's on team her. She's not necessarily on my team. That's not a given. It's not a given that she's on my team. I can't guarantee that. I'm not on a bad side at the moment.
I'd stay that way if I were you.
I mean, oh dear, oh dear. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. But one day, I won't be here. One
Yeah.
day, because I am older than her, and hopefully, when I'm gone, the lessons that I've tried to impart to her, she'll remember and go like, "Oh yeah, when my dad did this, this, and this, I actually learned from that." But at the time, I thought he was just spouting drivel.
We hope.
And people are going to come in and out of our lives, and we can't dictate when they come in and when they go out. All we can do is appreciate the best aspects of them whilst they're here and when they're gone. And even the negative aspects of them, we can get something from that. It might be a salutary warning, it might be, you know, remind us, it gives us an inspiration to have an aspect of our lives that we need to be mindful of. You know, sometimes from what I've been through and what you've been through, we've all had our various issues, and it goes like, oh, I hadn't thought about that, but at before it, and then after it, experience something. Go like, right, I now recognize that in other people. So
Mm.
sometimes you just like, right, I spotted that.
Yeah. There's this concept called and you probably know about it already, but unconditional positive regard.
Right.
And it's to do with, we talked about how everything can be good or everything can be awful, and actually it's probably both at the same time. They're both held in tension. And
Yeah.
you have to choose what you pay attention to. And that's just the same with people.
Yeah.
You can decide whether you like someone or you don't like them. And there might be some very good reason why you take against someone. They might be a danger or a threat to you. But um, if you if you treat the people that you are involved with unconditional positive regard and try and see
Mm.
what is good about them, because they're not going to be all good and they're not going to be all bad
Yeah.
generally. I mean, there are some people who are all
Yeah. Yeah.
bad.
So generally, you can go like, okay, people are doing the best they can with the tools they have at that particular moment in time.
Mainly.
Obviously, there are some exceptions in America right now. We'll just park that. We'll park that. But generally, the majority of the population are trying to do the best they can with the tools they have, with the experience they've been through, right? The effects of their life, and that's what it. I think that's what it comes down to, really.
Including ourselves. So if
Yeah.
you be accepting of yourself like that, show yourself compassion, you might be better at showing compassion to other people as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's quite a good way of avoiding being angry, either
It,
with yourself, which is probably the worst
yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
anger,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
or with other people as well. Um, But yeah. So we were going to talk about some other things today, weren't we? But I wasn't expecting to get the call at 6:20 from my mum this morning. When I saw that my mum was phoning me at that time, I thought, I know what this is going to be.
That's about, and you know, that thing of your children leaving this life before you must be one of the hardest things. One of the hardest things. That's just like,
The wrong
mm,
order.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's not the order it's supposed to happen. No
Yeah,
matter, that's the last, that's one of the, you know, every, I suppose every parent's nightmare.
it is. But it is like I've used this analogy before, but it's like the coin machines at the or on the piers on the beach, where you
Yeah,
put a coin in, and sometimes it should go to the back and
yeah, yeah,
slowly move towards the front before it falls off. But sometimes they unexpectedly flip over
yeah, yeah,
and overleap the other ones, and
yeah,
sometimes that happens. And who's to know why or what for, or
yeah, yeah.
because quite a lot of people experience child loss, don't they?
They do. They do.
Which uh, yeah, must be horrible.
Yeah.
But while these things happen, and they are awful and they're very hard,
Hmm.
um, that doesn't need to create a sense of misery or depression, I don't think. Even if you do feel down about it, that's all
Yeah,
right. It's gonna,
yeah. These things will pass.
yeah, yeah.
And, as always, in that particular moment, it hurts. And then, all the senses are heightened. Songs that didn't make you feel depressed before gonna hit home. Like, oh God, that one, all that, and everything, you see like, oh, that trip to Tesco's. Oh, when I was here, when I was in Tesco's before, I was with such and such. Oh, da, 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 like, it's like I'm never eating that brand of cream crackers again because that triggers me. Do you know what I mean? All that stuff. You're gonna like, okay, let's get remove the subjective, get to back to the objective. Okay, it's hard, but that's life.
But we're human and we can cope with pain.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have
It's not the nicest,
not the nicest, yes.
but we can do it.
We can do
Um,
it. We can do it. And then everybody's going to have their different strategies about getting through it. And sometimes it's just being in silence and being contemplating it. Sometimes it's going out and, having a good dance. Um, but the trick is, well, it's not necessarily a trick, it's like, be mindful of, not wanting to use any catchphrases. It's
well, no,
but,
being mindful is really important.
but
Mindfulness.
mindfulness, but it's a case of not being self-destructive in
Yeah.
your grief, in your grief, and being swamped with those emotions, not being destructive to yourself because that is self-defeating.
No, it's better to notice
Yeah,
and be curious about what you're feeling.
yeah,
Because, so for example, at the moment, I know I am going to be at the start of a process
yeah,
which could go this way and then that way and then this way and then that way.
yeah,
Um, and I am aware of that.
yeah,
And I think I was just thinking about grief before I spoke to you
yeah,
and thinking that some people that I've spoken to about their grief process, because
yeah,
mine might be going on for quite a long time, but is feeling bad about having moments of joy.
yeah, yeah. Why do I deserve to be happy? In fact, why does that person deserve to be happy? Right?
Yeah. And actually, it's absolutely fine to have moments of joy. In fact, it's probably essential.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And then if there wasn't moments of, for whatever the expression, misery, then people wouldn't necessarily appreciate the
The
joy,
joy.
the joy,
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, it's just joy, 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 joy. That's a bit repetitive, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because comes back to what we've discussed lots of times before, but
Yeah,
you've got to have the whole emotional range, and it's okay.
yeah,
I think people can sometimes be a bit afraid of knowing that they're going to have the whole emotional range. They want to shut it out, protect themselves from it.
yeah. But you can't do it because that's what life's about.
It's you
You
get
know,
the whole range, get
you
the
have
whole boosh.
yeah. Which comes back to why I'm suspicious of old people with very smooth faces. It's like, oh, right. I've seen your hands, and your hands are different. You have old hands, but you have a young face. So, done nothing. You've done nothing with your life, or you've had a lot of plastic surgery. Both cases, right, are dubious.
Yeah, you're not a fan of plastic surgery, are you? Um,
Oh,
Neither am I. Well, I wouldn't have it for myself. I don't wish to be critical of people who want to have it, but
yeah,
I'm quite proud of my laughter lines and my frown lines because that means I've been laughing.
yeah,
These
yeah,
mean I've been laughing. These
yeah.
lines mean I've been thinking.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's
Means
like
I've lived.
that lived-in look. So I'm a big fan of the lived. I'm a big fan of the lived-in look. Oh, you've been doing
Nothing
things.
wrong with it.
You have stories. You have stories.
Yeah, exactly. You
And,
can kind of look at what's that laughter line for? That must have been really funny that day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And we are our stories,
Yeah.
basically. At the end of the day, at the end of our life, at the end of our lives, people will get around and like bury us, and they'll basically say, stories about us, stories that we've told to other people, or stories involving us. We are our stories, and that is what we leave behind.
Yeah. 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 That and our children, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so we were going to talk about some other things before my brother inconveniently died this morning. Um, so should we go back to what you had suggested?
Well, we can go back to that, or we can park that for another time.
Hmm. Tell me your thoughts on what we were going to talk about.
Well, my thoughts were about you have to uh, celebrate uh, key moments in your life. And the other thing we're going to talk.
It's perfectly.
Oh, the synchronicity. How do we do this? 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 Bizarre.
Go
Uh,
on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
that's okay. So I was ready for the interruption. Celebrating, and the other thing was how to uh, cope with and process anger when you feel you have no control. Does that tie in? Maybe it does.
Um, the celebration, especially because immediately my thoughts turned to funerals this morning,
Yeah.
and sadly, one of my friends died last year, and she died. She was younger than much younger than me. She was 39, and her um, funeral and wake was
Yeah.
very celebratory
Yeah.
of what a fabulous person she was.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, what an important process that was.
Yeah.
Which is kind of you were talking about celebration, but it could be a wedding, could be a funeral. But these
Yeah.
big markers are significant, aren't they?
Absolutely. And like I said last time, is like you can choose. You can choose. You can have your official birthday. You can choose the marker you want, and you can choose how you celebrate it. Like February the 20th is my you know, unofficial or official birthday. I'm not changing my birth certificate. I don't want to have the arguments with my mum. But February the 20th is like a new life, a new beginning. So that I'm marking that. Absolutely. And the great thing about celebrations is that it's
I'm
it's
still
it's
here, I'm still listening.
it's it's a marker, it's a reminder. I think that's the most important thing. It's like, oh, it's a reminder, it's a marker, like we've got this far, and that's great. Or, we've got this far and we've still got a way to go. It's a time to reflect. Well,
Yeah.
it's that time of it's that thing like about kids who've been like in wars and stuff or stuff has happened to them. They only know how old they are because they've had a birthday. Well, I'm 5 because I've had 5 birthday parties. Like, like oh, and for some reason they've missed the birthday party. It's like they missed 2 birthdays for whatever reason. Like, oh right, okay. Well, I'm not 8. I'm 6 because like it's like how they mark their how the
Yeah.
so 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 I'm going to live forever because I'm never having another birthday party. I've
There's
held back time by shaving off all my grey hair. No one knows how old I am. And never having another birthday party. Wow.
I know how old you are.
But I'll tell you, my dad said he was 45 for like 5 years in a row. Dyed his hair. He had grey hair, and he dyed it hair black. You know that kind of black where you got the old face and like the black hair is darker than it was originally. That kind of style. I don't know who was trying to fool. It's like anybody. Anyway, an aside. But yeah, you celebration. You got to mark things. So well, I'm not laying that as an edict. I'm just recommending. I'm just recommending that you celebrate the wins, the small victories. Yeah, and in fact, you even celebrate the so-called losses because that just tells that's also a reminder of where you are and where you're going to. And also that thing of reflection. It's like, okay, this is the situation, this is the reflection. Like, so for instance, I tell people, as I said, like on the 10th of March, it was 2 years since the end of my cancer treatment. All right. So right now, this is heaven. I could be dead. So I'm actually in heaven right now. Well, I'm in Tesco's, other shops to exist. It's like that. I'm looking around. So this is what I came back for. This is what I came back for. I came back for the 50p reductions on coconut milk. That's what I came back for. That's what I'm here for.
Couldn't miss this.
I couldn't miss this. Other non-dairy milk options are in other shops.
Yeah.
But it's a case of like, right, okay, so that potentially death experience. To me, this is all bonus time. This is all bonus time here. It could very easily all this here could there was a chance of it not have happening.
Mm. Yeah.
So every day's a heavenly day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not getting too religious or anything or spiritual or anything like that, but this is all bonus time. It's like when I say when kids are younger, it's like okay, but they learn because they learn quicker. It's like I always say that's triple points. Like the older you get, it's harder to learn stuff. Right? It's like, oh, you try learning a language now. French classes back then, it's like, oh yeah, don't do toilet. Now it's like French,
but you actually take it all in.
yeah. Oh, geez, roughness. But now it's a case of like I really view my life. It's like this is bonus. This is all bonus points now. This is all stuff that might not have happened. And that's my viewpoint on it. It's very easy to just go like, now it's a case of like, hey, happiness is easy.
Yeah.
Stay blessed.
Conversely to that, if people aren't going to recover, like thankfully you did, I'm very pleased about that. But if people aren't going to recover, I don't think they should be as scared. And I think you might have read my article that I wrote about death, bringing it back to death, because I think in our culture we create such a fear around it, because it's like murder, the biggest thing, which murder is pretty bad. I'm not denying that, but I listened to a doctor speak. I may have mentioned it before. Who said you just breathe out and you don't breathe in again, and then that's it. And so it's actually far less scary than we culturally think it is. We think it's the worst thing ever, and and I suppose it's because, kind of connected with what you're saying, it's like you're gonna miss out on loads of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of it is also we getting further and further away from nature. Because if you're, very connected to nature, you're like, oh yeah, plants, yeah, they grow, then they die. I don't want to get into like Disney and the Circle of Life and all that kind of business, but it is, you
Are you
know,
going to start singing The Lion King?
hey, we don't want any copyright strikes. So, but it goes round and round and round. But we live in the cities and we get detached from nature to a certain extent because we get up at artificial times because we have light, we have heat. You know, back in the day, it was like, oh, it's time to get up. We know it's time to get up because it's light
The sun's
outside.
come up.
No, it's time. Yeah, we know it's time to go to sleep because it's a bit dark. And then we invented candles, and it was like, well, we're not going to overuse this candle, so it's only for emergencies, right? But now it's like, okay, we got the neon strips, etc., etc., and then we have things on demand. So and because we have modern medicines, we think, oh right, we can extend things, but we can only delay the inevitable for so long. We think, don't want to get into like science fiction, but we are the new gods. We can control everything.
Oh, well, that's what the tech bros in the States are
Yeah.
working.
You see these stories of these super rich people like, right, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to siphon off other people's blood and we're going to inject ourselves with that. And we're going to take all these tablets and we're going to enable us to live longer. And you go like, and I saw this guy's face. I saw it on Netflix. I can't remember how old he was, but I looked at this guy's face and said, you're not right. There's something wrong with you. And it's like, he takes all these tablets every single day and he does all these expenses, like 23 days, uh, 23 hours a day doing all this stuff to live longer and like this hour in a
What
day thing.
for?
Like, I'm going like there was a documentary about it. I'm going like your life sounds horrendous. You're like all your mates who you used to hang out with been down the pub having a life, and when you're gone, everybody's just gonna remember. Oh yeah, he was that guy. Yeah, he looked really weird. Yeah, and there was a documentary about him. But no, are we gonna watch it? Nah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
after you live, you can only delay stuff for so long. And it's all about quality of life. And spending 23 hours a day doing stuff to try and make you live longer. And you've created your own prison. I'm
It
not
does
saying that
sound like missing the point, doesn't it?
it's not about, I'm not saying don't be healthy. I'm not saying, hey, that whole packet of biscuits, knock yourself out, have another packet. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a quality of life issue here that has to be had, that has to be focused on at all times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the other thing we were going to talk about, actually, it links. Um, we were talking about poetry,
We
and
were.
that gets used at moments of celebration
Absolutely.
to express what
Yeah,
is quite difficult to express, but
yeah,
people feel it.
yeah.
So
We have one wild, precious life, which we
that's
have to
right.
maximize it. We have to maximize it. Have to. We're here one time. We're reincarnated, you wouldn't remember. And if you went around telling people, hey, I'm reincarnated, people say you're weird. I wouldn't listen to you even less. See what I did there? Tie that back to the beginning
Yeah,
conversation. Yeah. And it's
yeah,
precious. You could be here today, gone tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, right. On that note, I think I'm out of energy, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I,
wrap
I, I
up.
can tell by the breath. I can tell by the breath. You breathe, you breathed in, you breathed out. Okay, so
I breathed in again.
again, yeah, so look after yourself,
Thank you.
nurture yourself. Yeah,
Yep,
because if you don't put time in and energy into yourself, you can't be there for other people.
yep.
So I'm
Well,
going to send you. No, I'm not only sending you a high five. I'm sending you big tens, and I'm sending you a massive super hug. And not everybody gets these, you know. Not everybody gets these. You know what I'm saying? Exclusive. Exclusive.
thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. Look after yourself.
All
So
right, will
this
do. Take care.
Happiness is
Bye.
easy, and we
Bye.
know it's not easy, but everybody out there, we know you're doing the best you can. So stay strong, be positive, and spread sunshine wherever you can. All right, till
All
next.
right. Happy days.
Happy day.
Bye.
Bye.